Hey everybody, it's Brooke with The Buttered Home and welcome to my messy kitchen. Today we have a healthy and delicious salad for you from start to finish, vinaigrette and everything. This is our version of a delicious kale and Brussels sprout salad with a delicious agave vinaigrette. You will not want to miss this one. Okay, first we're going to talk about our greens. So we have a pound of Brussels sprouts, and you can do this a number of ways. It's really the easiest if you have a food processor. Just chop that woody end off and pop them in the food processor to kind of shred them. You can also use a box grater, or if you don't have any of that special equipment, you can simply just shred them with a knife, just like this. You can just run your knife through them a couple of ways. And they usually just fall apart anyway. Just as always, if you're doing it with a knife, you just want to make sure that you're extra careful. So all of those go into a large bowl. And then what I've done, I've already washed and chopped my kale. So I wanted to talk to you a bit about it too. We're using the curly kale for this one. And I wash it real good and remove it from the stem. You're going to get some stem in there. It's just unavoidable in a lot of ways. But I like to just roll it up on itself and just run my knife through it so that it's in like little ribbons. And then I got some pieces left in there. So I'll just put them in my big bowl there with my Brussels sprouts. So I'm doing this in a bowl that has a top that we can actually put the top on, because we're going to make the dressing and then I'm going to kind of shake everything together. So let's get started on the dressing. The first thing you're going to want to do is to take a green onion, and I cut the woody end off, and I like to just split it right down the middle with my knife and just kind of do it in minced small little pieces. And you're going to do the whites and the greens. You want the whole thing. And anytime you're cutting with a knife, just be extra careful. A good sharp knife is one of a cook's best tools. Clean hands really is the best tool for a cook. Clean hands and a sharp knife. I would venture to say that those two things are most important. So I have just a simple shaker bottle. You can do this in a bowl. It really doesn't matter. But we're going to mix up our dressing, and we're going to start with about a half a cup, and I like using this because I can measure what I'm doing. So we're going to put in a half a cup of avocado oil, and my dripper's kind of slow, so it might take a minute. And then a quarter cup of lemon juice. You can use fresh. Fresh is always best. But I have this that I got to use up, so what better time to do it than now? 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. This makes it nice and creamy. 1/4 of a cup of agave, or you can use maple syrup. That green onion that we just diced up. I'm gonna make sure I get all of that, because that really adds a lot of flavor. And if you didn't want to use green onion, you could use another herb of your choice, just to add a little punch of flavor to your dressing. And then we want to put about a half a teaspoon of salt and about a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Now I'm just going to simply put the lid on, secure the top, and give it a good shake. And this is the same mixing bottle that I use to make my little shakes and smoothies with, so you could totally do that. And you want to just take a look at your consistency. It should be kind of thin, but yet kind of creamy. Then we're just going to take that and pour it right over the salad. And I'm going to get my little blender bottle out and make sure I get all of the onions out of there. Put it over here in the sink. Now you can toss this around, that works really well. Just use a pair of tongs and kind of get it all incorporated in there. Or you can simply do like I'm gonna do and just pop the lid on and shake it all up. And as long as you can start to see the dressing on the underside, then you know that you're cooking with gas. Look at there. And the longer this sits, the better it gets. So if you have time to just pop it in the fridge and let it marinate for a little bit, you can do that. But we're just going to simply set it over to the side right there because we're going to do one more little step just to make this completely over the top. So I have about a half a cup of chopped pecans. And I'm just going to put those in a dry skillet over about medium heat and just move them around for about 3 to 5 minutes until they're nice and toasty. You want to keep them moving. I think a spoon will be better for this. We just want to release some of that oil in those chopped pecans and get them with that nice toasty flavor. Okay, so our pecans are nice and toasted. So now I'm just going to open up my salad and give it a good mix. And we're going to take those toasted pecans and pour those right over the top. Gosh, those pecans just smell heavenly. And then I've got the nice shredded Parmesan cheese, and we're going to take about a cup of it and mix that in as well. And I'm just going to give that a toss to get that cheese mixed in. And I'm going to go ahead and get a serving out and make sure I get pecans and a little bit of everything. And you can dress this with more salt and pepper if you need to. But it's fantastic. And just look how fast we just made that salad. Isn't it beautiful? Let's give it a taste. Okay, let's give it a taste. I'm gonna try not to get too big of a bite, but I do want a little bit of everything in there. What is it that the kids say now? Chef's kiss. It's so good. You have tons of flavor in that very simple vinaigrette we just made. It's light, it's bright, it's not too tart, but it's not too sweet either. The texture of the kale and the Brussels sprouts is perfect. And what makes this so good is that you can make this the night before you need it, and that kale and those Brussels sprouts really stand up and almost get better the longer that they marinate in this dressing. So this is a great make-ahead salad too. But the textures with that shredded parm and with those toasted pecans, it just adds something. And I can think of a ton of other great things that you could add to this. This is just a good base kale and Brussels sprout salad that we would love for you to try and make it your own. This recipe, like all of our others, can be found over at thebutteredhome.com. We would love for you to give it a try and let us know if you liked it. Also, make sure you're following us on all of our social channels. We have a really good time and we want you with us no matter where we are. Cooking up a storm. If you want all of our videos in one convenient place, head over to YouTube, search for The Buttered Home, and when you find us, hit that subscribe button and so that you can be notified when we drop new videos like this one. We got lots of salad to eat and I am looking forward to it. These are great seasonal items that are healthy and fresh. I can't think of what would be better. So, y'all, from all of us here at The Buttered Home to your home, we sure love y'all. Bye.